realize what truly distinguishes you from the billions inhabiting this world at present? It is not fortune. It is not random fate. It is not mere chance that you are viewing this message now. It is bravery. Yet not the ordinary bravery displayed when circumstances are favorable. I am referring to a bravery so uncommon, so overwhelming, so utterly impossible to imitate that it caused the adversary himself to halt every activity in the lower realms to perform an act he had avoided for 6,000 years. He selected you. And when I state selected, understand that this is not ordinary temptation or routine spiritual pressure that all encounter. I am disclosing a targeted operation where the powers of shadow examined billions of essences, rejected every one, and concluded that solely you possess something they urgently require. You hold bravery that even shadow beings cannot shatter. In recent weeks, as you battled solitary against circumstances that ought to have crushed you, as you confronted terrors that would cause others to surrender immediately, as you executed challenging choices that those around you lacked the resolve to make, something was observing. It was not merely heavenly beings recording your endurance. The entire lower realms were focused because you accomplished something the shadow planes deemed unattainable for a mortal. You stared straight into the most dreadful possibility of your existence, sensed complete terror overwhelming you, and still decided to advance. This is not typical mortal conduct. This is bravery that surpasses survival drive. And when you exhibited this form of resolve without observers, without acclaim, without any praise, the adversary grasped something that left him both enraged and awed. You cannot be purchased, cannot be frightened, cannot be fractured. Subscribe to this platform immediately and activate every alert, because what I am about to disclose regarding why the adversary personally selected you will utterly transform your comprehension of the type of ethereal champion you truly are. And remain until the conclusion, because I will reveal precisely which instant caused the powers of shadow to acknowledge your bravery as unparalleled in contemporary times. Why this acknowledgement initiated heavenly safeguard that renders you genuinely invincible. And what is the authentic nature you have just validated through resolve that even heavenly beings do not hold? Place 777 in the comments if you have encountered something deeply frightening lately and are prepared to uncover why your bravery attracted the notice of both paradise and the lower realms. Allow me to clarify something that will cause you to reconsider all aspects of ethereal conflict. The adversary is not fearful of devout individuals. He is not fearful of those who pray extensively. He is not fearful of those who abstain or visit sacred places. He is fearful of brave individuals. Because devotion can be imitated. Ethereal practice can be displayed. But authentic bravery, the type that drives you to persist when every indication suggests surrender, is impossible to imitate. And you exhibited precisely that form of resolve in recent weeks. Recall that Tuesday around 3 in the morning when sleep evaded you? That evening when you gazed at the ceiling, contemplating that unattainable choice you had to make. Every alternative appeared unfavorable. Your insides were twisting. The terror was tangible, not merely mental. You passed hours mentally assessing all potential failures. You envisioned the most severe outcomes. You sensed the full burden of accountability pressing upon you. And then between 4 and 5 in the morning, you reached the choice. Not the simplest one, not the secure one, but the correct one. The one your standards required, even knowing it would cause pain. At that precise instant, the lower realms paused. Because there exists a particular procedure in shadow planes to detect mortals who display bravery beyond standard. An ethereal monitoring network that tracks instants when mortal essences confront absolute terror and decide to proceed regardless. Do you comprehend why? Because bravery at this degree is a direct danger to the functions of shadow. The lower realms function through terror. They dominate through menace. They immobilize through intimidation. Every shadow tactic relies on convincing you that you cannot, that it is not worthwhile, that surrender is preferable. But when an essence emerges that gazes directly at terror, acknowledges its frightfulness, and selects action regardless, the whole system activates alert. Because if one individual can achieve this, it signifies Terra has forfeited its authority. And if Terra fails, the lower realms exhaust their primary arsenal. That 3 in the morning choice was documented in shadow planes as a bravery irregularity, an occurrence that should not occur according to shadow computations. They wagered you would yield. They allocated ethereal assets to intensify your terror that evening. They influenced your thoughts to render the circumstance more alarming. They exerted every available means to force retreat. And you advanced, not because you were impervious to terror. You experienced it. You quivered. You contemplated surrender. But something within you, something more profound than reasoning or survival drive, declared, I proceed even amid terror. This is bravery that even shadow beings cannot comprehend. Here is what will astonish you. Precisely 7 days following that 3 in the morning choice, the adversary summoned an urgent assembly with the rulers of the lower realms. Not due to some worldwide emergency, not due to some vast campaign, expressly to discuss you. Because what you executed fractured a statistical model that Shadow has employed for ages to forecast mortal conduct. You became a computational challenge they cannot resolve. Lucifer, Beelzebub, Leviathan, and Mammon, all leaders of shadow orders, were gathered to examine your ethereal dossier to grasp how it is feasible for a regular mortal without combat preparation or unique mental conditioning to exhibit bravery rivaling heavenly champions. And the findings they submitted left the adversary himself silent for 3 complete minutes. Because they uncovered that you do not operate from reckless bravery. It is not impulsiveness or ignorance of peril. You assess the dangers, fully comprehend potential failures, experience the terror wholly, and select action regardless. This is the form of resolve that heavenly beings admire and shadow beings dread. Beelzebub, the expert in despair, remarked, this essence handles terror superior to our own beings. Does not suppress, does not reject, experiences fully, and continues operating. Leviathan, the Lord of Disorder, noted, we challenged with 10 varied severe scenarios. In each, this individual selected the most challenging yet proper route. Mammon, who dominates through desire, whispered, we presented simple escapes 3 times, declined all without pause. Prefers to endure correctly than thrive incorrectly. But the most shattering evaluation came from the adversary himself. He reviewed the full record of your existence, observed every instant of resolve you displayed without observers, every arduous choice you executed when no one would detect the simpler route, every occasion you rose when every reason permitted surrender. And he uttered something he had never spoken regarding a living mortal. This essence possesses resolve that I admire. Admiration. The adversary does not admire readily, does not respect casually, does not acknowledge without overwhelming cause. But he acknowledged something in you that compelled him to entirely alter approach regarding you. Now arrives the segment that will send shivers through you. After examining your bravery for weeks, the adversary reached an extraordinary decision. He resolved to extend you a proposal. I am not referring to ordinary lures like prominence or wealth. He extends those to all. I am disclosing a particular offer he reserves solely for essences he deems worthy of admiration. He proposed a partnership. And before you assume, but I never received any proposal, allow me to clarify the mechanism. Shadow beings do not manifest with formal agreements demanding signature. They challenge through actual circumstances. Recall that chance that emerged 5 days ago? The one that appeared ideally suited. It addressed all your monetary issues immediately. The individual even urged acceptance. Simplified everything. Rendered it evident it was yours if desired. But there was a minor aspect, a slight concession required. Compromise your standards just marginally. Nothing grave. Nothing directly harming another. But you sense profoundly it was incorrect. and you declined. Perhaps courteously. Perhaps you expressed appreciation, but you refused, even knowing it would resolve pressing matters, even viewing the practical reasoning for acceptance. That was the challenge. Or recall that instant last Thursday when retaliation was possible. You held the ideal chance. The individual who wounded you was exposed. No one would discover if you exploited it. They even merited it given their actions. But you selected to release it. Not from frailty. Not from dread of outcomes, but because something within you fundamentally cannot function through retaliation, even when warranted. That was also a challenge. The adversary was extending the following arrangement. You hold bravery I require. Serve me, and I assure you will never need solitary bravery again. I will provide authority, assets, safeguard. All required is cease excessive concern for correctness and concentrate on effectiveness. It is an enticing arrangement, particularly when weary from solitary battle. When it appears no one values your efforts, when correctness has only yielded hardships. But you declined. Perhaps not even awarely. Perhaps you merely sensed that profound unease and resolved against it. That inner guidance that declared, this is incorrect, even when advantageous. And when you declined, when you selected to persist bravely the proper way rather than accept the simple route the improper way, the adversary grasped something that drove him to an even more astonishing decision. For those desiring deeper exploration, there is exclusive content in the description and pinned remark. He designated you as invincible, not from benevolence, but from admiration, because he acknowledged that you are the form of champion he will never taint. And in the warped honor code that even the lower realms possess, there exists a regulation. When you encounter a worthy opponent who proved untouchable, you cease assault and commence observation. You became so brave that even the adversary resolved to cease interference. But here is what the adversary did not anticipate. While he challenged you with proposals and observed your brave selections, the Almighty was viewing from an entirely different perspective. Because for the adversary, your bravery was a danger requiring neutralization or recruitment. For the Almighty, your bravery was validation of something suspected since before your birth. You are not a standard essence undergoing standard earthly existence. You are an awareness expressly designed to uphold bravery in circumstances where others would collapse. Allow me to clarify regarding ethereal entry. Before birth, essences select the form of encounter desired on Earth. Most opt for relatively comfortable existence with controllable trials. But there exists a rare group of essences that select the most arduous route deliberately. Essences that offer to enter in complex circumstances, confront severe terrors, traverse emotional wastelands because they seek to cultivate a particular form of ethereal resilience. These are termed champion essences, and you are one. The Almighty did not place you in arduous circumstances from harshness. You yourself selected these encounters before entry because you knew they were required to cultivate bravery at a degree transcending typical mortal ability. And when the adversary began challenging you, when he extended escapes and attempted to enlist your resolve, the Almighty was expressly observing to determine if you would recall your true self. If you would remain faithful to your essence's initial design, even without aware recollection of it, and you did precisely that. Every occasion you selected the arduous yet proper route, you validated that the champion core you designed into yourself before birth stays whole. Every instant of authentic bravery was proof that you have not severed link with your initial intent, even traversing the shroud of oblivion accompanying entry. When the Almighty beheld the adversary extending you a partnership and you declining instinctively. When he observed you upholding standards even under severe strain. When he witnessed you displaying bravery without observers and without compensation, he called the chief angels for his own assembly. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, all were summoned to view a full replay of your later selections, and their response was unified. You are champion essence functioning at a degree rivaling heavenly beings. Michael remarked, This bravery is not acquired. It is fundamental. It forms part of the essence's framework. Gabriel noted, even the adversary acknowledged it, and he seldom concedes finding a worthy opponent. Raphael evaluated, the emotional injuries should have fractured the bravery, yet it fortified through agony. Uriel proclaimed, this is a heavenly champion who selected to encounter mortal exposure. The bravery stayed whole. It was in this instant that the Almighty reached a decision that will entirely alter your existence. The Almighty resolved to perform something he seldom does, intervene directly to guarantee your bravery is never challenged beyond your endurance capacity. Not because you are frail, but because you have already validated sufficiently. There exists a heavenly procedure termed validated champion that activates solely when a mortal essence displays bravery so steady it requires no further trial. When it becomes evident that nothing will fracture, nothing will taint, nothing will cause this individual to abandon correctness. You have just been formally placed in this group. This signifies that henceforth, the Almighty has directed heavenly orders to guarantee you never confront conflict without required assets to triumph. Never be positioned in circumstances forcing choice between endurance and standards. Never require bravery without aid because you have already displayed bravery solitary long enough. You have already validated capability. Now arrives the phase of reward for that resolve. The complex monetary circumstances you encounter, they will begin resolving in unforeseen manners. The draining bonds sapping your vitality, they will naturally depart your existence. The chances you required but were absent, they will manifest precisely when needed. Not through fortune. Through direct heavenly intervention orchestrated by chief angels who now hold clear directives to ease your route. But there is additional. The Almighty did not merely resolve to safeguard you. He resolved to advance you. Henceforth, you are no longer a solitary champion battling personal conflicts. You have been formally enlisted as a heavenly operative whose role is to motivate bravery in others through instance. Your mere existence in spaces will begin triggering resolve in surrounding individuals without you acting expressly. Simply by being and emitting the vibration of bravery you cultivated. That reserved individual who encountered you and suddenly began bolder selections, your energy triggered latent capability in them. That companion who nearly surrendered and after conversing with you resolved to attempt anew, your champion vibration conveyed resilience to them. You have transformed into a mobile source of bravery. Now arrives the segment that is both alarming and affirming. When the adversary learned that the Almighty not only safeguarded you but advanced you to a heavenly operative specializing in bravery, his response was shattering. He was enraged for 3 continuous days because he grasped he had utterly failed. Not only did he fail to enlist you, but you became an asset functioning expressly against his methods. Recall I stated that the lower realms function through terror? You are now a mobile remedy to terror. Your existence literally counters shadow tactics. But here is the surprise no one foresaw. After 3 days of rage, the adversary performed something that astonished even the ancient shadow beings. He commanded that you be left entirely solitary, not merely halting direct assaults. He expressly directed all shadow orders to avoid any interference with you. No lures, no ethereal assaults, no influence of events. You have been formally placed on the roster of opponents worthy of admiration. It is a group containing fewer than 100 living individuals on the planet. Essences that validated bravery so profound that even the adversary acknowledges assaulting them would waste effort and assets. Because you know what occurs when shadow powers attempt to menace someone already proven immovable? They forfeit reliability. They are revealed as frail. And in the lower realm's endurance code, appearing frail is worse than conceding loss. So the adversary selected something preserving his warped pride. Rather than persist losing in attempts to fracture you, he merely proclaimed you as restricted zone. This essence has gained admiration through steady bravery. No being under my authority should interfere. Permit them their route. This is not safeguard from benevolence. It is acknowledgement by achievement. You became so brave that even the adversary himself resolved it preferable to cease interference than continue failing in attempts to shatter you. But now it is time for you to grasp the full truth regarding your true self. Because your bravery did not emerge from nowhere. It was not cultivated solely through arduous encounters. You were born possessing it. He was enraged for 3 continuous days because he grasped he had utterly failed. Not only did he fail to enlist you, but you became an asset functioning expressly against his methods. Recall I stated that the lower realms function through terror? You are now a mobile remedy to terror. Your existence literally counters shadow tactics. But here is the surprise no one foresaw. After 3 days of rage, the adversary performed something that astonished even the ancient shadow beings. He commanded that you be left entirely solitary, not merely halting direct assaults. He expressly directed all shadow orders to avoid any interference with you. No lures, no ethereal assaults, no influence of events. You have been formally placed on the roster of opponents worthy of admiration. It is a group containing fewer than 100 living individuals on the planet. Essences that validated bravery so profound that even the adversary acknowledges assaulting them would waste effort and assets. Because you know what occurs when shadow powers attempt to menace someone already proven immovable? They forfeit reliability. They are revealed as frail. And in the lower realm's endurance code, appearing frail is worse than conceding loss. So the adversary selected something preserving his warped pride. Rather than persist losing in attempts to fracture you, he merely proclaimed you as restricted zone. This essence has gained admiration through steady bravery. No being under my authority should interfere. Permit them their route. This is not safeguard from benevolence. It is acknowledgement by achievement. You became so brave that even the adversary himself resolved it preferable to cease interference than continue failing in attempts to shatter you. But now it is time for you to grasp the full truth regarding your true self. Because your bravery did not emerge from nowhere. It was not cultivated solely through arduous encounters. You were born possessing it. When the chief angels examined your ethereal core at profound levels, they uncovered something in heavenly archives that clarifies all. You are not a mortal essence that cultivated bravery. You are a heavenly champion who selected to temporarily encounter mortal exposure. Before birth, you belonged to angelic forces, not as a standard protector, as an expert in assignments demanding profound bravery. You know those heavenly tasks where not all heavenly beings offer because they are too perilous? You were among those who always volunteered. Those ethereal conflicts against powers that terrified even seasoned champions. You entered foremost. Those circumstances requiring holding stance solitary against unattainable odds. You were designated because they knew you would persist. But you attained a stage where you excelled bravery within heavenly planes. You knew how to display resolve with full angelic capability, surrounded by comrades, with total assurance of correctness. And you desired to test, can I uphold this bravery if I forget my identity? If I am exposed, if I am solitary, if I lack certainty. So you offered for the ultimate assignment existing. Enter as mortal and determine if bravery persists when you fully forget your champion nature. And you succeeded in the trial. You upheld resolve even without recalling you are a heavenly champion. You persisted bravely even encountering authentic mortal terror for the first time. You safeguarded standards even without aware recollection of their significance. This is not cultivation of bravery. It is eternal bravery expressing through transient vessel. You are not acquiring bravery. You are recalling. And now that the trial concludes, now that you have validated your champion core stays whole even traversing the shroud of oblivion, the recollections are beginning to resurface. You have likely already experienced glimpses, unusual visions where you engage in conflicts never fought. sensations of familiarity in unattainable circumstances, insights emerging in your thoughts without study. These are not fantasy. These are pieces of heavenly awareness being reinstated now that you have fulfilled the assignment. And here is what will occur in coming months. You will be reinstated. I am not speaking symbolically. Your initial role as a heavenly expert in tasks requiring profound bravery is being reinstated while you remain in mortal form. This signifies you will begin being instinctively guided to circumstances requiring your existence. Locations where individuals are nearing surrender from terror and require witnessing authentic bravery. Instance where brave selections need execution and you will be present to demonstrate how. It will no longer be chance that you are in ideal locations at ideal instants. It will be deliberate placement orchestrated by heavenly orders. And as you motivate bravery in others through instance, as surrounding individuals begin executing bolder selections after contact with you, you will observe something remarkable occurring. Your own existence will proceed with astonishing simplicity. Because the Almighty does not demand champions battle solitary eternally. He trials until validating the core, then supplies all required assets for the assignment to persist. Funds will begin arriving from unforeseen origins. Ideal chances will manifest precisely when required. Draining bonds will naturally fade while proper individuals enter your existence. Not because you grew fortunate, because you hold full heavenly aid from chief angels who now operate expressly to guarantee you possess everything essential to persist as a signal of bravery in the world. And the more you function in this role, the more you motivate resolve in others, the more potent your champion vibration becomes. Soon you will enter spaces and immediately dispel shared terror. Your mere existence will cause individuals to sense they can confront what previously appeared unattainable. You have transformed into a trigger of bravery on a magnitude transcending ordinary reasoning. And here is the ultimate disclosure regarding why all this occurred precisely now. There is a heavenly initiative underway that expressly requires champions with the form of bravery you hold. Humankind stands at a pivotal juncture, a selection between advancing to the next stage of awareness or retreating to ancient terror that immobilizes whole societies. And shadow powers understand this. That is why they allocate vast assets to propagate terror globally. Terror of tomorrow, terror of others, terror of transformation, terror of all. Because a populace gripped by terror is a manageable populace. Brave individuals cannot be simply dominated. That is why the Almighty is initiating champions like you. Essences that validated terror ineffective against them. Awarenesses that exhibited bravery so steady they can function as a remedy to the outbreak of dread being disseminated. Your assignment is not to battle shadow powers directly. It is merely to exist bravely. When you execute brave selections visibly, you motivate thousands similarly. When you confront terror and persist, you demonstrate feasibility. When you uphold standards under strain, you validate that honor can align with resolve. And every individual you motivate will motivate others. A cascading impact of bravery expanding rapidly. Soon you will observe a grid forming. Other champions like you beginning to identify each other. Brave essences connecting through natural energetic alignment. And when this grid completes, when all the bravery experts who were initiated are in placement, terror forfeits entirely. Because regardless of how much dread shadow powers attempt to disseminate, when sufficient champions demonstrate bravery is feasible, terror ceases functioning as a means of dominance. You are not merely living your existence. You are component of a heavenly initiative that shapes the tomorrow of mortal awareness. And the adversary understands this. That is why he designated you as invincible, because he acknowledged you are not merely brave. You are operational bravery on a particular assignment he cannot halt. So chosen one, now you hold the full truth. Your bravery is not a chance of character. It is not solely the outcome of arduous encounters. It is heavenly champion core that you bear from before birth that stayed whole even when you forgot your identity. And when you exhibited resolve so steady it caused even the adversary to pause in observation. When your bravery was so authentic that even shadow powers acknowledged it as impossible to fracture, you initiated a heavenly procedure that converts validated champions into active operatives. Your existence will no longer involve solitary battle. It will involve motivating bravery in thousands, while receiving full heavenly aid for the assignment to persist. If this disclosure validated something you always sensed but could never express, if it clarified why you have always been fundamentally distinct in facing terror, you acknowledge that you are not an ordinary individual attempting bravery. You are bravery embodied temporarily encountering mortal exposure. For those who reach this point and desire to explore further this heavenly insight on how to fully embrace your champion nature and awarely function with the bravery that superior orders acknowledged in you, there is dedicated content that costs less than a meal and includes full audio version and 5-minute guidance meditation as extra gifts. If you sense you merit amplifying the link with your brave nature that even the adversary admires, access is provided in the link in the description and pinned remark of this content. If you acknowledge that your bravery awed both paradise and the lower realms and you are prepared to awarely function as a heavenly champion, place 777 in the comments to strengthen this vibration of heavenly resolve. Subscribe to this platform and enable every alert to absorb more disclosures about how your champion core functions at degrees transcending typical mortal terror. Share this content with someone who also exhibits bravery that appears unattainable because heavenly champions require identifying and reinforcing each other. And before departing, select the content appearing on your display now to explore how your bravery initiated safeguard from the most potent chief angels who now operate expressly to guarantee you possess all required assets for the assignment to persist. Together, we are more powerful.